to you till you make amends with the demons you've been through. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
What's up YouTube? Welcome to More Trades. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna give a quick update on the markets. Most of the markets depend on the traditionals, but I'm gonna focus on some coins. The traditionals will decide what the markets will do. So whatever the traditionals would do, the markets would do. I'll be taking a look at Solana for starters, and I'll go through other ones. This is Solana on the 4-hourly. As we can see, we just basically retraced the value area high that we had from this entire range, and it's acting as support at around 19918. And as you can see that we had this move down. This was a peak over here. This was the bottom of a wave 1 or an A, peak of wave B or 2, and we came down to 1.272, even lower. So that is enough. It doesn't have to go lower, but if it does, then you have, if it starts going lower, then you have the 1.618 over here at $19 to act as support, to anticipate a move up, possibly a move up to, if we come down to the $19 range, we could go as high as 21.7 or 22.6. We could just stop over here, but that would be a shallow retracement. So if it gets down to the $19, what I'm saying is that this could be a support, and you could trade it to the upside. These are the ranges for retracement. If we come down to the $19 and hold the support and assume that's a wave B, or just a wave 3, and we're going up for a 4 and a 5 down, then your up move could take you all the way to 0.5 fib retracement, and that will be your next resistance to look at. Not that price will stop there. Hey Jafar, welcome to the stream. Welcome, buddy. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. It could take us all the way to here, but that's not the end of it. That is assuming this is the bearish count, but there's always a bullish and a bearish count. If we say that this move down is just a wave 2 of this big wave 1 that went all the way up, because it can be a wave 1. No one knows for sure if it's a wave 1 or just a correction to the upside, or is this the beginning of something? No one can tell you that for sure. And if anyone is very sure about it, maybe you shouldn't watch them, because no one can say for sure. If this is a bullish count and this was a wave 1, then wave 2 can should at least come down to 17.367, or even the golden pocket around the 0.618, 15.1, or even the 11.9. So what I'm saying is that we could go as low as 11.9, even wick below it, and still be in the bullish count and do something like this. This was a 1. Our 2 can come all the way here. Then definitely we're going for a 3 up. And then when that happens, we'll be watching this zone over here, $32 to $33 zone, for a possible rejection. But I assume that if we're going up, if it's a 3, then we'll have a 4 down. We'll definitely have a 4 down and a 5 up. So if you've missed the lows, then there's not much to worry about. You can always scale in zones of support, as we are in a support zone. This can be considered. As you can see, this move up was a 1-2, and this move up was a big 3. Assuming this is a big third wave, and we're still not done, and we're coming down for a 4th. Sorry. If we're coming down for a 4th, then we've hit the support perfectly, 0.5 fib, and we might blast off for a 5th. The problem with the 5th wave, it doesn't have to be a huge wave. The 5th wave can be truncated. That means it can be a short wave, shorter than this, or it can be a big wave. How do you measure a wave 5? You can measure it from the length of the wave 3 to where wave 4 stops, and your wave 5 can take you anywhere between this zone and here. It can go higher, but those are the 2 main goals you should monitor. So it depends on what you think of the market and what you think could happen. Yeah, nice to have some people live. It's been a while. I haven't posted a live stream, but yeah, I've been busy, man. Markets have been crazy. I know that you've exploited some trades, Jafar. Good on you, man. I'm glad you made some gains. I've exploited some coins like Rose, SKL, and where's that? Dusk. Dusk hasn't gone so well for me. I'm sort of in the red now. I'm debating whether I should close it or no, but I'm still I'm well hedged with the Bitcoin trade and the SKL trade, so I'm still thinking what to do with it. I might close the Dusk trade in a small loss, depending on how it goes in the next few hours. As you know, in the next few hours we will have some volatility. In the next 15 minutes, sorry, we might see some spike in us a bit. Usually we get that on a Saturday night. So that's for Solana. Ethereum, let's go down to Solana. One more chart for Solana. If Solana decides to come down, then my fib channels are far away. I mean, the next support on these channels that I've drawn can come down to 10.2 depending on when it comes down. I still have the target $5 to $7 zone. I might, even though it looks very far away, I might be wrong, but remember we were at around $8 to $9 just a month ago, a bit more than a month ago, and now we were at $25, so it's not impossible. It can happen. Going back to Bitcoin is still at that wave 4 support zone if we are in a wave 4, and these are the levels. The next support zone to the downside is at the 2250. If we lose the 20,250, then we're coming to the wave 2. Then that means it could be a wave 2, and that is between 19,851 and 17,318. If you lose that, then definitely you are coming to make a lower low, in my opinion. But you could come here, hold the 17, then you're blasting off for a bigger third. So even if you're coming down, don't be afraid and don't lose hope. I mean, you could still have a nice wave 3, so that could be a 1 up, and our second can come all the way to the 17.3, and our third wave should be around $26 and $31, a big range. So I mean, in crypto, I don't think so. Any market you can just be missing out. It's just the fear of missing out, but you always get another chance to go in. It could be not a perfect position to go in into a trade, but you will get an entry. So no need to FOMO. Ethereum, on the other hand, we've lost, or we are just a support. Look at that. We're holding this support, daily support, perfectly. There. Our support is at 1509. We are holding it. Our daily open is at just above 1509. Our daily opens around 1520, I believe, 1512. Yeah. For some traders, this is a good point to enter a long. We are forming a double bottom on the hourly. We have a lower low and then we have a higher low. So that could be a good spot to enter, but not financial advice. But you have this insufficiency. You have this vector candle. Look at this shaded zone. That's a vector candle. That's and even if you go to a fair value gap indicator and you look at it, I'm sure you'll find a fair value gap right over there. There you go. This is an insufficiency. If we can get above this, this will be our next zone of resistance. It could take us up to the 1625. So anything is possible. Targets to the downside for Ethereum. For support, I have we have the next target is 1406 for support in this chart. Obviously you can see this zone was well respected. You have several touches over here. You have 1, 2, 3, and now you have this touch. Big support. If you lose that, then definitely it's this zone, the 1406. Then that will be the next zone you should watch for. Otherwise you'll be coming down to lower zones, lower price values. Now, fixed range volume profile for Ethereum, we are below the value area low for this. On the daily, for this entire move, we are below the value area high, so there is a big chance we could be coming down to the 1224. Even though it sounds so far away, I'm just giving you the zones as the charts present them. Yeah, good luck to all of us. I mean, we should be careful in this market and always use a stop loss. I hope you watched the video that I posted of how to scale off losing trades. I posted 2 strategies, 2 different videos. They are in the playlist of trading for beginners. And in those videos, there are 2 simple strategies that I've found useful if you are in a risky position and you're trying to get out. It's like you're tangled and you can't get out, you're trapped. There are 2 strategies that may help you. Although they involve some risk, but they may help you get out of a risky trade, a bad trade, sorry. I am looking at Mina at the moment. It's up 20%. Let me pull up another chart where we have more data on Kraken. See, we broke out over here, but I've seen many alts break out over here, and I can still exploit a short. I can still take a short position over here on a retrace. I could trade the retrace, but I need a confluence before I can enter the trade. Why? Because I need to know where am I exactly in the chart. I don't just short randomly. So on the daily, I don't have anything above me. On the weekly, I have the 50 EMA coming at 1.144. So if I get to 1.144 over here, you can see this is a 50 EMA. You can't see the cloud, the purple cloud, because it's not fully developed. You don't have enough data. But yeah, 1.144, sorry, it says 146, but it's 1.144, 146, somewhere around there. If I come there, I might exploit a short trade. But we can see volume increasing on this move up. This is on the weekly, so it's a big time frame. But if we get here, I won't exploit. Even if you exploit a short on the resistance of the 50 EMA, I would still be very careful with this shaded area. This is an insufficiency. This candle could be recovered all the way up here, so you could be in the red till 1.668 before you find the next resistance. You see this? This is a resistance zone. It's a previous resistance. It's previous support, turned resistance, and we sold off. So I would be careful if I get there. At the moment, we are hitting this zone of resistance. You can see over here, it played as resistance. We don't have much data on this coin, but if you look at the daily, to me, coins that are overextended when everything is dumping, I'm glad you found it helpful, Jafar. I'll try to find more strategies and more ways to help people. That's the point of the channel. I'm trying to make it a bit different than other channels to focus more on beginners, because some channels just talk and I mean, maybe they assume everyone is very capable in trading, but to be fair, we're all learning. Okay, So if we come here, I'll just be very careful with that. Another thing to watch for, if we go back to the daily, that level 1.144, do I have anything? Now if I look at this move up and I say this was my first wave move, I had a small retracement here, then I've exceeded. Let me do it another way. Let me look at the chart differently. Let me take a fib retracement. I'll take a fib retracement from the previous wick over here to the low, and we can see we are at the 0.786. As long as we don't break the 0.887, then there is a chance we might come down. So once you break the 0.887, essentially that could tell you you're reversing the downtrend going to the uptrend, and it's opposite on an uptrend. If you're on an uptrend and you're coming down and you break the 0.887 fib retracement, it might mean that you're getting close to saying that you're reversing the trend basically. So yeah, we are at resistance. I'm not shorting it that yet, even though I might miss out, but I'm just watching it because I have a level of liquidity and insufficiency, a fair value gap, whatever you want to call it, and I have the 50 EMA. This can be done over here because essentially this would be a cloud. This is a zone. If you look at the daily time frame, you can clearly see a cloud. 4 hourly, you can see there is a cloud that makes a difference. You see, we're not slowing down at the moment, where we might retest that again. In 5 minutes, we might have some volatility, so we might see a spike up and so on. Rose is the same story. I might have got stopped out on my trade. I'm not sure. I had a short on Rose. However, it was in profit and my stops is in a very small loss. I put it as tight as I could. Rose, no, it's still going. The dusk trade isn't going well for me. I might try to scale out of the dusk trade. Let's look at dusk. No signs of slowing down even on smaller time frames. I mean, even on the 5 minute we haven't lost the 50 EMA, but I believe I got in the dusk trade because we are at a level of resistance over here. As you can see, we're breaking above resistance and we were very overextended to the upside while the rest of the market either was holding or was dumping. Now if I go on the weekly, do I have anything for dusk? Again, we're in the 50 EMA cloud, we're in it, and we are in our on the daily. If I turn off my indicator over here and take a fib retracement of this wick over here before we started dumping and go to the low, we are at the 0.5 fib, so it is a good retracement to pull back from, but we could continue higher. It's possible. It's a risky trade. This is on the daily. We had higher volume yesterday. On the 4 hourly, volume is dying out on this move up, so to me it looks like stopping out. There is a lot of overlap. When you find the candles overlapping, that tells you ATR is low. That tells you there is an explosive move coming soon. It might take some time, but explosive to the upside, to the downside, you can't really tell. But you could look at this as some sort of a bull flag, and it's breaking up. I mean, yeah. Usually you look at this and you say this is bullish as hell. This is has broken out. So essentially, when you take these trades on overextension, it should be a scalp trade because you don't know when the market will reverse. It should be, you're essentially trading the retracement of the move. not the impulse. Now, coins that are high up. Mina. Has Mina given me anything? I'm looking for that 1.141. I'm looking for that. Will I get that? I'll wait and see for that. FET, FET. FET looks like it wants to come down. Possible next zone. This zone. If it comes down, 0.3655. But if it goes up, you have this zone of liquidity. Vector candle. You might come up, but you're losing. I mean, FET. Usually I would, if I didn't have much exposure on other trades, I would have entered FET. You are losing the 50 EMA. I would enter it over here possibly on the expansion or the crossover as a riskier trade. So essentially what you're looking for is a cross of the 5 and 13. It depends which indicator. On this indicator, the yellow one is the 5 and this is the 13, the red, and this is the 50, and down here you have the 200, and under here you have the 800, the purple one. This indicator is different, and on my other indicator I have 8, 13, 21. So this is the 8, 13, 21 and 55 EMA, and this is a 200. This indicator that I'm using now on the screen now is called EMA candle close strategy. Basically it tells you when the 8 and 13 and 21 cross the 55 and the next candle opens and closes below the 8 EMA, it gives you a short signal. Sometimes these signals are faked out. You get the short signal, then you get a wick and you get stopped out, or it reverses. But it's no strategy is 100%, but this is a fairly good strategy. You can see when the 8, 13 and 21 cross on this candle, this purple candle, this hammer over here, it gave you a sell signal when this second candle opened and closed below the yellow EMA, the 8 EMA. It told you short. So if you entered on that, you could have made this trade. Sometimes I've seen it even on high time frames faking you out. So it is a good indicator, but it could fake you out. Possibly on high time frames. 4 hourly is a good time frame to use, but by the time the move already happened and it gives you a signal, maybe the move is done and it was just a retracement and we're continuing higher. So this indicator is called EMA candle close strategy. This one is called TR main, traders reality main. It has a lot of other things embedded in it. It's a nice indicator to use if you understand what you're looking at. It gives you sessions of markets. It tells you when the New York, London, Sydney, EU brings, US brings, Tokyo, Hong Kong, and did I mention Sydney? Yeah, it tells you all of those sessions. And it tells you the candles that have a lot of money being exchanged in them, tick volume. So looking at coins that have made insane gains today, what I basically do, I go on my app and I just look at which coins have made insane gains when we're having some moves from Mina. I want to take a look at Mina. Which coins are making insane gains while the rest of the market is dumping, or the rest of the market is just sleeping. And I look at those coins and I say, okay, this coin is doing this. Why is it doing this? It could be just a squeeze. You could use this strategy to the upside, to the downside. If you see it dumping tremendously compared to other coins, then you know that, okay, something is not right about this coin. It might pull back. So that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the past few weeks. So I just go there and I look at what has gained max gains. Now looking today, I've looked at Rose. I've exploited Rose. It was going well, but I held onto the trade, and now It's in a very small profit. SKL did me very good. I opened it from yesterday, and it's doing the best. So it's my hedge against basically SKL and BTC are my hedge against the dusk one. The dusk one wasn't going well. I was so sure it's going to retrace further down, but it's not really losing the 50 EMA even on the smaller time frame. The best trading strategy, Jafar, for this, I'll tell you how to use it. If you are using whatever indicator, if you have a 50 EMA, what you need to look at is this. You have a not the brush, sorry. You have a path tool. This is what you want to see. This is the safest play. I have to be honest with you. You have your EMAs cross. They break below the 50. You have a drop. Your candles will drop. Then eventually you'll come up and test the 50 again, which will be somewhere around here maybe. After it does its thing and comes here, then that's the point. Either you enter here, and that's a riskier trade, or you wait and you enter over here. What did I do? You enter essentially here at the breakout, and you can do it on reverse. I mean, if you have a trade, if you have this, I'll show you how to do it. You had this move up, you missed it. You'll wait for a retrace, and you enter for the breakout. Obviously there is some risk, you could get a drawdown, but overall you see you slightly moved up, but that is you are very extended to the upside, so you'll be buying the highs. But if you use it to the downside over here, sometimes you don't get the retrace. This is a 5 minute. Let's go on the 4 hourly, maybe there is something clear. For example, over here, you missed this move. You wait for the retrace and you didn't get it. You got a breakdown. You came up, and once you break through, you could say I'll exploit that breakout over here. Now over here, what would tell you to enter at this point? You can see these candles. You have big green candles, high tick volume on this indicator. However, when you see a lot of them, you will get a pullback, and then you enter and ride it all the way up. And another way of trading this, I traded this not only because of what I showed you, but I also traded this because we're very far from the 50 EMA. So eventually I know we're gonna come and retest the 50 EMA. So I'm essentially trading the retrace to the 50. But how long that will take and how far up it can go, these are altcoins. They can extend very far away and not even touch the 50. You can see this. This is on the 4 hourly. You can see how many candles you had. It was a long time before you retraced. So there's always a risk. Nothing is 100%, but we try our best to find strategies that can give us a small edge in the market. So if we go here, since you blasted off the 50, the next time you tested it was on this candle over here. It took you 10 days. So that's a long time on the 4 hour time frame for a retrace. So you'll be in the, so that's why you should always have a stop loss and know where's your invalidation. For instance, on dusk, if dusk starts breaking up here with volume, and then I know my trade was a very bad decision, and we do make them sometimes, and I need to use my strategies to scale out, possibly cut out some of my other trade and close the dusk trade to save my portfolio or minimize the risk on my portfolio. But this pattern I like. I see it a lot on crypto. It could play out, I might be wrong. We have this, we have this, and then we have this, then we have this, and we might come down. So it all depends on your risk appetite. Yeah. What I see for Bitcoin, it's possible for Bitcoin to pump up before coming down again. I am in a short, but it is very possible. You can see Bitcoin does this a lot of times. This is when people all think that it's doom, khalas, Bitcoin is going to zero. You know what I mean? Bitcoin is going to go to 17K today. Although we have targets to the downside, but it may very well go up back to 22.4 or even higher, then only to come down when everyone thinks we're going back up. We can even come as high as 23K. I believe it's very easy for Bitcoin just after the weekend, if not tonight, go back to 23K, retest 22.6, 23K. This zone of resistance is at 22.7. So this zone will be important between 22.4, 22.7 will be a next zone to look at. Another thing I want to highlight is that people were talking about the golden cross in the daily, the 50 and the 200. We were about to get it on the daily, but before people started talking about that, I mentioned that we are having it on the weekly. So what do you want to follow? The weekly, we don't have it. I mean, we have a death cross on the weekly. This is a lagged indicator. You want to follow that or you want to follow the daily? It's up to you. These are all lagging indicators. At the moment, we have that fib time I was talking about in my video earlier. I was telling you guys that we have the what is it? The 2.382 or 1.382? The 2.382 fib time incoming. Well, we're already there. This is the 2.382. I wonder what reaction will we get. Will we get a continuation to the downside? Or are we going to get a pump? This is on the weekly. Sorry, I need to... Okay, it's not there. I'm sorry. It will be there on the 12th of February. Well, in my time zone, we're already on the 12th of February. So, yeah. Basically, but the timing here says GMT +3. Why haven't I hit it yet? This is on the daily. Something isn't right over here. This fib time is on the 12th of February. On the 4-hourly, I've hit it already. This is a pivot point, so we might go down, we might go up, but it's a pivot point. So a trader but can be aware of this, that there is possible a reversal. We've seen this pattern also. I've showed you on the other coin on Dusk, and over here on Bitcoin, it might be in reverse. Recovery of the vector candle, and maybe then a spill down. We never know. Yeah. We have fib time. We have EMA's death cross on the weekly. Yeah, this is a good time for the markets to pump. When the markets look like they're bearish, it's time to pump. Of course, the traditional markets are closed. They closed very low at around, like the Nasdaq is at 12,237. It was up at 12,897. So we might be going lower. It's very possible to be going lower. Yeah, hope you liked the stream. If you did, please smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and join the free Discord. And if you really like to support the channel, then link is in the chat, pinned to the chat, and in the video description and in the channel description. You can go through a link and support the channel. Much appreciated if you like the video. Hit the likes, it helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the videos out there to help other traders like the rest of us. Alright, I'm out. Have a good night, everyone. See you in the next one.